Okay, this is going to be a, well, eye-opening lecture, is because nobody talks about this thing. And this thing is called the lymph system. You look at it in the mirror every day. You complain about it every day. You're the one that actually doesn't even understand that it exists inside your body, which of course is the elimination filters of all the waste. You can call this the garbage man. Okay, and we're going to show you through this lecture, it's not only to understand the lymphatic system, because you need to work this out. If this is plugged, I don't care what you do, organic, schmorganic, you do whatever you do, anything, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. This flow needs to open. And it's usually hard as a rock, and you can tell, okay, because the muscles get sore, and we'll go over it so you can see how real lymph work. So you can see how these have valves. And once you see them, you see that this thing, okay, with all the nodules here, the red ones are clogged ones. This is your cancer, upper outer quadrant, lymph disease. These are where a lot of critters live. These are where a lot of bullies live. And this is where you need to go ahead and actually understand. Remember, like the different classes of parasites on the last video we did. That was 5 classes, there's 10. At least you know there's different classes, they eat different foods, they live on different parts, and you can snack at them a little bit at a time instead of, oh, it's a mystery. Lymphatic system, you need to know it. It's got 3 times the volume of what system in your body?
Blood.
Your blood. Wait a minute. I go to school, we spend all this money, we try to learn about the body, we learn about the blood, but the blood is perfectly regulated, because if not, you can't live. It needs to be 7.3 to 7.46 pH. It needs to be 9 to 11 milligrams percent calcium. It needs to have equanimity from the rest of the body, making the blood so it's clean and conductive. The blood is what transports the electricity from your heart around your body. Your heart does not pump your blood. That's fallacy. Your arms and your legs, when the lymph system's working, really pump the system. Okay? Your heart aids in the pump. But you have 75,000 miles of hose, and that would be impossible for that little pump to pump through all of that, from the biggest of plumbing down to the capillary, which is 1 red blood cell at a time. I think you'd get backup. Okay? So the heart, remember, makes electricity. It is necessary to be conductive, and this is the reason being why we're going to clean the lymph, is because the lymph, can you go ahead and go to the next picture? The lymph is what makes you conductive to your regenerative powers. Your creative powers is because this is the garbage can. If your garbage is filthy, you got maggots in your garbage now because everything wants to live in it. Put some fruit in the garbage here and let it wait for a week. Okay? Where'd the fruit flies come from? Where'd the maggots come from? Remember, everything grows where it can. Okay, and so this is where, once you understand the lymphatic system, it's only because right now you guys have done, you did, just real quick, 10 days of dry water fasting, okay? 15 days of dry water fasting, broke the bank. He's now an advanced water faster. You're an intermediate. First 7 is a beginning water faster. I mean, it can be done. 7 days without any food reverses the energy, but regenerates at the same time. And if you can pass 3 days, hell, it's easy. Okay? And this is the reason why you're doing it, to soften up this thing right here, the lymphatic system with all that dry water, not mountain spring water, not alkaline water, not just tap water. Okay? No, this is dry water, 0.000 parts per million, just like Mother Earth, the sky falls down to the earth. Distilled, condensed water, pure form, pure water. So, okay, you got any pictures? I'm just going to go through these a little fast here, but this is where part 1, you need to see what's going on. So you work on the lymphatic system. It's not massage. You got to do the protocols to make it so, and I'm having my shirt off right now just to show you. The lymph system is easy to see. It's because if you can't see these veins, if you can't see the body, shut that off just for 1 second. If you can't see the body through, remember the skin is, no matter where you look, 6 to 7 layers thick. That's it, it's saran wrap. What lives underneath, okay, is faux. And if you can't see through yourself, that means you don't have clarity, even though you think that you may. It's only because you got lots of things inside you that live inside you that make you less conductive, because that's faux. That's not you. If you think it's you, then you'll keep it there. But once you find out it's not you, what do? You work on category 2 parasite, just body fat. Category 3. And as you do change, okay, your lymphatic system cleans up. It's because the reason why a lot of these creatures live in you is because this thing is plugged. Let's just watch this real quick. But again, this is the reason being, one second more. The reason being I wanted to show you, okay, is is because your body, remember, is nothing more than a water bottle. That's it. It's 18 gallons of salt water. That's it. So how do you clean it? If it's just a water bottle, I think water's pretty smart. I don't think eating a lot of dense food, since it's not a water bottle, you should do, especially if you have undesirable effects of what you already know. Remember, the body is transparent, man and woman. It takes a lot. Trevor knows, Hunter, it takes a lot to keep this transparency. Okay, look at you, remember? Okay, did a video the other day with you guys in there. Remember the cheese I pulled out of your skin? Remember that? Beautiful. Ruined my towels. But that was good. Remember, we had to marinate you first and soften you up, though. Remember, there's protocols to all this stuff. So the reason being I wanted to do that, remember, opening up the pore, and we're going to get into it now, leads to the lymph system. If those pores are plugged, how are you going to get that out? You really think that it's going to come out through what? Peeing? Pooping? No, it comes out. You have to open up the pores, though. You have to open up each porthole that has 4 feet of cord. Each porthole to each area will dictate the toxicity release in that area. That's why you got all these pores. They're portholes, and most of them are plugged. And if you have body fat, they're plugged. So what do? You understand. Hey, maybe I'm not, forget fat, chubby, well-rounded. Maybe I'm just plugged. Maybe I'm plugged and I have a matrix inside me, and there's something inside me that is insatiable, hungry, and if I let them go, then all of a sudden I'm in control of what is feeding, because they're not going to ask to feed. Trevor, you know, took a little while, Hunter, okay? You can process sugar, but you don't gain weight. Only reason being is because whatever you're having, your body can process. And if you gain weight, remember, its only means is because your body couldn't process it itself, and it needed other things to be able to process, and they replicated. They're just called the replicators. Okay, that's it. So what do? Dereplicate them. You just don't give them the fuel. And just cut down, cut down. You can always go back to having sweets when you clean up the yeast, mold, fungus, and candida. It's real simple. Okay, so let's just watch this real quick, because we got about an hour here. But okay, one last thing before you start here again. Remember, part 2. You need to learn how to do this. It's an experiment. That's all it is. Okay, and I can show you what I've done, and you know Trevor, and you know Hunter, anybody that basically learns these protocols, okay, and does the sauna protocols, learns how to clean up the skin, learns how to break down the tissue, learns how to rebuild, purge, okay, simple, small amounts at a time, okay. All I know is that these things work. It's the only reason why it won't work for you is because you haven't had the patience maybe enough to be able to maybe slow down and learn something new, if it's reasonable. And it should be reasonable, you know. So I do all these videos, because everybody that basically goes through these things changes their life. How much do you want to change, though? And remember, this is smart to do, not only for yourself, but it's smart to do for your family. Remember, the lymphatic system on everybody, as you walk around and see everybody overweight, they're all plugged. So that's sort of like a light thing. If I was 40 pounds overweight, I'd say, shoot, everybody just knows that I'm plugged. Okay, I just got to unplug myself. Shoot, that makes sense. My matrix inside basically will not let loose, so what are we going to do? We're going to pee through our skin to let it all out. Piece of cake. And it does work. Do you need sugar? I don't know. You guys didn't even need food now. 15 days? 15? You did, 5 of you? 14? Yeah, but you did the and what did you do?
10 days on water.
Okay, but this is what it is. Okay, look, you guys now are softer than you ever were, and if you don't soften yourself up, how are you going to break down this stuff I'm going to show you in a second? It's hard as a rock in your neck, in your groin, underneath your armpit, all around here. These are the sewage pits. These things are rock solid. That's why a lot of people get sick, is because these things become calcified and they get black mold inside and they burst. They break inside the body, and all of a sudden now you have an infestation. You're sick all the time because of septicemia. Septicemia is when the body gets poisoned from something in the body, but it's not supposed to leak in the body. Remember, the mouth to the anus is in the body, but you have to realize it's outside the body. Anything that gets into the body has one little hole called an ion. That's all that's true. Unless you get leaky gut syndrome, unless you got parasites in there, then they make it so the breach in the intestinal tract, and this is how you get the secondary sickness in the lymph, because now you got things in your intestinal tract. If they are there, they better stay there. And if you breach the wall, then what happens? It goes into the body, and now they're just going to find a house, if they can. And if you have irritation, cell phones, whatever it is, even stress, because you have tons of cortisol, because you're stressed from Wi-Fi, you're stressed from relationship, you're just stressed from work, just stressed because you're broke, whatever it is. Okay, so I'm just getting warmed up. And this is well known, guys, so I don't want to hear it. It's going to show you what you own. And this is the sewage pit, all of these.
The lymphatic system is a multifunctional body system. Its roles include transportation of lymph and combating infection. The components of the lymphatic system include lymphatic vessels, lymph nodes,
sickness, that's where it comes.
and lymphatic organs.
And the organs, remember they're
Lymphatic
sewage
vessels
pits
form an extensive network of thin-walled vessels that transport lymph around the body,
everywhere.
eventually emptying it into the venous system. Lymphatic vessels contain numerous valves and have a beaded appearance, bulging between adjacent valves when filled with lymph. Lymph nodes are small masses of lymphatic tissues situated along the course of the superficial and deep lymphatic vessels. Their function is to filter lymph as it passes through the lymphatic system en route to the venous system.
Okay, so I just wanted to show you. Look, this is simple. You don't even know you have this. Remember, the body is very smart as long as it's not toxic and as long as you give it what it needs, just a little bit. Remember, don't try to think you're such a healer. Body's a healer. It fixes itself. So take away the sort of, I call it the sort of like you're going to fix yourself and call yourself a healer. No, the body is going to fix the cut. You may aid so it can do it better. Okay? But this is where you guys are starting. See, you've started a whole new life because you've decalcified tons of stuff. Okay? And this is what you're doing. It's not cleaning the blood up. No. It's cleaning the lymph up. And that's why it's not talked about. If only people knew. If only they taught us in school. In school, that this is the most important filter. It's not the blood that runs electricity through me and feeds me oxygen and stuff. No, this is a sewage pit. No one talks about the sewage pit because if the sewage pit gets plugged with plastic, bisphenol A, if it gets plugged from sitting down in a chair, maybe 10, 12 hours a day, maybe 9 hours at work, an hour back and forth to work, sitting at home, watching TV, sitting at home, eating at the table, sitting around doing everything, and this gets clogged. And this is why it's going to take a little work. I'm going to show you some simple protocols that you have to do a little bit every day. And it's actually really good to do. Why? It's because it regenerates you. And if you don't like your life, guys, I guarantee you, you know what happens? Once you clean up the lymph system, it's magical. It's because you're going to tell somebody else. Because it's not just eating better. How are you going to get all that crap out of your system? And what lives in the lymph is weird, is because that's where a lot of these creatures live. They live in the house, so what do? Let the matrix go. It's sort of like letting the water out of the fish pond. Are the fish going to live? No. Are the creatures going to live in the lymph system if you open up the portholes and start blooding out? And then drinking pure water and getting worked on yourself and pushing stuff around little by little, as much as you can, when you can, and make fun of it. And if you have partners, then this is the best thing in the world. It's like picking fleas off each other, and you're really helping each other more than sort of complaining about not what you're doing with each other. The best part is to help each other. Remember, you will never get sick if your immune system is working, and your immune system is dictated by many things, but number one, by the lymphatic system. I see a lot of vegetarians, a lot of vegans, I see a lot of people, okay, that are supposed to eat healthy, but I see them as sickly. Okay, it's because remember, there's also parasites. Remember, there's different layers, and the blood parasites don't really have a lot of power when a lot of the other parasites are not in the body. It's because your body gets stronger now. Okay, and they can't. Remember, the whole system's based on energy. And a ton of parasites that live in your system want this broadband. It's just like AM. That's it. That's where they live in and thrive. So they want to keep you in this layer, especially when they colonize. Okay? And then once you, like right now, you guys have rid yourself tons of matrix. You stopped eating. Parasite poop went down. Everything went down. And now all of a sudden you're up here. You're still part in here, but you're in here. You're on a whole new level. And now all you got to do is see some of the reasons why you're going to continue. If not, you sort of lose the power of where you just moved to. And now it takes time. Now you got a big ladder. Now you got to learn how to use it. You got to learn what you can do with this ladder. Okay? And the ladder is nothing more than changing a lot of little things. And then in time, you're going to do the same thing. And you just slowly go up and you say, you know what? I don't get sick anymore. I don't have to take any medication anymore. I feel pretty good. I don't feel like killing myself anymore. I wake up in the morning with skipping my jump. Why? It's because like a kid, remember, is the energy you want to have when you couldn't wait to get out of bloody bed in the morning. That's it. It's just the way it is. Okay, the name derived from the Latin word lymphatics means absorbent. Wow. absorbent.